Hey guys, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Tim.
And we're going to give you a tour of our tiny house today.
Alright guys, so our first thing we want to talk about is the entryway to the house. So actually just a couple of weeks ago, myself and my friend Derek actually just put in a brand new deck. So this was something that we had on our minds that we wanted to do for quite some time, just given that, you know, the tiny house is so small. We wanted a little bit of outdoor space as well to hang out and chill and kind of extend the house a little bit further. So we built this deck. We didn't really have any plans to do it. The guys at 84 Lumber kind of made fun of us for it, but it was a total success. I found a little bit of plans or ideas online, but it's a totally floating deck, so we didn't actually install anything into the ground. We just dug a very flat and level area and built it from the ground up. So as you can see, we've effectively doubled the size of our house and now have a beautiful outdoor space that we can hang out in, turn the lights on at nighttime, and really identifies with the space. So that's the first part of our tour on the outside. Secondly, this leads me to my outdoor kitchen. If you follow Shannon on Instagram or know me, you know that I love to cook. It's one of my passions in life, and this grilling outside is something that I do almost every single day. So having it that readily accessible on the deck for me has been just something that makes me so happy. So then obviously leading over here, we have a big outdoor space, so we can seat comfortably 4 people in chairs, but you can have plenty of other people coming around. Obviously we have our lazy dog Juno, who loves to be outside, surrounded by all of us people and laying in the sun. So that really is about it for our outdoor space, so let's take you inside.
Okay, so this is our entryway. We actually just ordered a new door, so we're replacing this with a full glass door, which I'm really excited about. I've wanted that for a while. But we actually just redid this whole entryway too. So we just have like some basic hooks here to store some stuff. I recently took up some gardening, so I've got some new plants here. We just installed this cabinet from IKEA. We haven't put a handle on it yet, but up here we have a portable speaker, we have headphones. Most of this stuff is just like dog stuff, like leashes, harnesses, like treats, all that kind of stuff is up here. And then in this bottom container is kind of a junk drawer, just random things in there that we don't really have anywhere else to put. And then down here, I don't know, can you see it? We have the Dickinson marine stove, which is a propane heater that we use in the winter time. It's not our primary source of heat because you can't actually run it unattended. It's not considered safe. So when we get like sub-zero temperatures in the winter and our electric heater, which we'll show you in a minute, can't keep up and keep it warm enough, then we light this thing up to kind of give ourselves an extra boost. So next we're going to talk about the kitchen.
Alright, so back to me. As I mentioned outside, I love to cook. So the place that I spend the most time and kind of enjoy the most is the kitchen. This is something that I really kind of customized to my own liking with direction from Shannon's kind of design aspect. So we really, given that this is a tiny house, we needed to maximize every single piece of square footage that we have. So we've really, we'll show you the insides of the cabinets, but they're fully, full with everything that we need, and not an inch more. So space-saving techniques, we really put the, took advantage of the wall space. We put the knives and some metallic stuff on there on a magnetic strip. So that just makes it really easily accessible for me. I usually do my chopping over here. Utensils, we kind of have some, random utensils in this drawer. This is kind of like the drunk or junk drawer from up top. We've got another one here, and of course, keep our silverware on a little, on top in some mason jars. This little guy here is a water purifier by ProPure. It's something that Shannon has wanted to have for a while. We've had it for 5-6 years now, but it's really good at purifying water and getting all the chlorine and all the contaminants out of the water. So we use that on every single day. So up top, again, more IKEA stuff, really just using every single piece of space that we have, everything from spices to coffee stuff, all smaller plates that we have here, glassware, and more like kind of cooking stuff. So that's those. as far as how I cook, we have a 2-burner propane stove. The whole house is run off of propane. Shannon mentioned with the Dickinson stove, that's propane, and these are propane. So real easy to use, and it runs off of a single propane tank. They're really efficient, so it only takes a little bit of propane each time. We probably only go through 1 propane tank every other month when we're just cooking in the kind of the 3 spring, fall, and summer. In the wintertime, we use up a little more with the stove, the Dickinson, but do all my cooking here, super easy. Got the pots and pans down below, so just bring them up, cook, good to go. This is our sink. We have a deep well copper sink. It's really nice, really effective use of all the space. Got our dish soap there, our faucet there. More effective use of our counter space. This is kind of half of our bar. So we've got some liquor bottles up here. Of course, more cactuses from Shannon. And made a lot of effective use of this area as well. More drawers from IKEA. Kind of our fruit and vegetable basket. And then just lots of drawers for storage. More of a bar area down here for the lesser used alcohol. Not that we're like alcoholics or anything. But up here, Shannon's kind of on a making kombucha trend, so we've been making that probably every single week for the past few months. It's really tasty. If you like kombucha, make your own, because it's really easy. As far as the fridge is concerned, when we first moved into the house, we had a fairly small RV fridge, and it really just wasn't effective. You're living small, and it's only the 2 of us, but we do like a variety of different foods, and so we like to keep our fridge stocked with stuff, and especially things that are frozen. Frozen meats, frozen vegetables, things like that. And having a lot of space for that was really necessary for us. So we swapped out the RV fridge for this guy here, and it almost tripled our freezer size. We got a really big freezer down here, and obviously have a lot of room in the fridge for plenty of stuff. So as far as an oven, we only showed you the stovetop, so we actually have an oven here by Breville, and it's a full convection oven, and I think it's like 13 inches wide, so you can cook a full-size pizza in there. But it's awesome. I mean, we use that a lot, not every single day, but mostly. And more storage up top for some random spices and things like that. So that's the kitchen.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the island. Our house was actually built on the TV show Tiny House Nation, and this island was kind of a solution that Zach Giffen designed for us to solve multiple issues that we had in the tiny house. So we definitely use this as like a prep space, an eating space. I fold laundry over here, so lots of uses. It actually has a leaf on this side that pops out so that if we have company, we can have more people seated here. We don't typically do this on a nightly basis for dinner. Usually we're just kind of sitting on the couch, or we'll sit outside if the weather's nice, but we do use this like if we want to sit down for a nice dinner, or if we have company over, we're definitely pulling this sucker out. So over here we have a stool that I typically sit on over here. It's kind of adjustable. And then usually we just wheel this ottoman over for Tim to sit on. This is by Resource Furniture. They have really great options for tiny house people, really, because all of their furniture serves multiple purposes. They do Murphy beds, they do all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, this actually opens up, and this is where we store our pillows for sleeping, but also each of these comes out and these pop off so that you actually get 5 separate stools out of this. And we use this, like I said, whenever we have friends over, so that we can seat more people for dinner. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the rest of the island. Let's get it back in. So this island actually also serves as a dog crate for us. We have 2 pit bulls, as you can see. We've got Adam snoozing over here, Juno's outside. But we have a door over here. This opens up, and our dogs actually go in here when we're not home. We have dogs that tear things up and eat things, and they have to be crated, so this, again, serves so many purposes for us.
Also have the where our dogs eat is down here. So Shani can pull that out. We actually hide away the dog bowls there, so when we pull that out, and of course Adam's, wait, what are you going to feed me? So we pull that out when we eat, or when we feed them in the morning and at night, and when they want water or anything like that, we just keep it all in there. So again, multiple purposes. Everything stores right away, so hides away and keeps the space clean.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys all of the storage that we have over here with the washer dryer. So we have a washer dryer. It's a combo machine by LG. You see a lot of these in tiny houses. We love this thing. We definitely could not have lived tiny without having laundry, like hands down. We use it every day. So really like it. It's definitely a longer process than if you had two machines. You know, the dry cycle is typically about 3 hours, so you're looking at about 4 hours total for a load of laundry. We do dry things outside if it's nice out, and that kind of helps speed things up. You can get more laundry going.
It's also really loud.
It is also really loud. There's a load in there right now that we had to pause for the video. So all of this cabinetry is by IKEA. There's, I think, 3 separate cabinets here. This is 1, 2, and 3, and they all mounted right to the wall. So inside here we have all of our laundry stuff. There's an iron there. This is my bathing suits, my socks, my tank tops, some of Tim's clothes, more of Tim's clothes, and then this is kind of like another sort of random. There's like camera equipment in there. There's stuff for my pole in there, random. So that's that. Over here we have like medications and sunscreen, stuff like that. Down here this is like all of our returnables. A little filing thing that we keep important documents in. Over here this drawer has like Tim's tools. There's like measuring tapes, all that kind of stuff in there. And then this is my underwear drawer.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about our closet / office area. And if you know me or follow Shannon on Instagram, this whole project has been the bane of my existence since living in this house. Mainly because it's such an awkward place to construct something in. So every single thing in here had to be customized, and by no means am I some sort of expert carpenter, but somehow I was able to pull this off. So we've got a little bit of a kind of a nook over here that serves as our closet. And so what I did was kind of combined a bunch of different things from a bunch of different places to kind of construct this whole thing. So what I did was just got some pretty standard kind of like closet or shelving material from either Lowe's or Home Depot, I can't remember, to kind of make the frame of it all. And so what that allowed us to do is break up the space into different usable areas, just to really maximize the space that we had to work with. So obviously you can see here we've got drawers, mainly all for Shannon, except for my little drawer here.
Oh please, the one on the bottom's yours too.
Yeah. So up top I installed a closet bar so we can hang a bunch of clothes. We've got kind of our winter clothes storage over here, and there's some hidden cleaning supplies back there. Some shelving here to hold some additional things like raincoats and whatever. Got my hunting boots down there, and this is where we installed the retractable gates, just right up against the back of this wall, just so it's sort of hidden when you're over there, you don't see it. Over here we have kind of a top to bottom, another piece of closet pull that allows for us to have this shoe rack holder thing. I think we just got it on Amazon, and it just holds like a whole bunch of different shoes. So sandals and summer shoes, things like that. Shannon's pole, which she'll probably show you in a bit, is stored behind there. So again, just really kind of customize this to our liking. We got these drawers from IKEA. They were not easy to install because I had to get these custom width paneling, but I made it work, and somehow it's kept itself together. So we also do have additional storage underneath for more shoes. Shannon loves shoes. I've only got a few pairs, but we've got a lot of shoes in here. Also, another thing, in the back here you'll see this white little cabinet looking thing. Behind there is actually our air conditioner. We didn't get what typically tiny houses get, which is kind of a split system or a heat pump, which does heating and cooling, just for whatever reason. That's how the way the house was designed. So we have just an air conditioning unit there. Not the prettiest looking thing, so I built that little custom cabinet just to kind of hide it, add a little bit of a decorative piece, but still allow the airflow to come in. As far as this space is concerned, again, this was kind of fully customized by myself. We did a lot of IKEA cabinetry here, did some matching design work by Shannon. She found a lot of gold accented pieces like the poles here, and the light fixture kind of all matches with the gold. I built this custom desk myself and kind of got the matching gold holders there as well. This is where kind of Shannon gets ready in the morning, does her makeup, stuff like that. And we've got some additional storage here. This is really just kind of Shannon's random like girl stuff, stuff to do makeup, stuff to do hair, and whatever girls do. Purses and things like that in there. So this was actually a cool idea that we had. Shannon found this thing, I forget what it's called.
The Vittles Vault.
The Vittles Vault, yeah. You can find this on Amazon, but this is where we keep all the dog food. So every time when we feed the dogs, you can see Adam staring at me right now. He's like, "Are you gonna feed me?" So we keep the dog food in there. So whenever we open that up, the dogs know it's breakfast or lunch or dinner time. Again, more storage up here, lots of girl stuff and whatever. Behind here is where we have our vacuum. So we have our Dyson. It's a handheld unit, so it makes it really easy to hide away and is definitely powerful enough to do all the vacuuming in the house. So we keep that stored away back here where it charges up. In the back here is actually where Shannon has all of her kombucha that she's brewing. It's kind of doing its second fermentation behind there to get the carbonation in there. And that is about it. I guess the one last thing I'll say is, again, everything needs to have multiple purposes. So this is the seat that Shannon sits on when she's doing her makeup in the morning. This is also where we store our laundry, our dirty laundry. So we put that in there before, if there's full laundry in there, or we came back from a trip or something, we'll put the excess laundry in here before it goes in there to get cleaned. So I think that's about it.
Okay, so over here we have the stool that I was talking about earlier. Underneath is a air filter, so definitely recommend one of those to keep the air quality nice and good. Back here we have a broom that I use to sweep the deck. So this actually telescopes and stores a lot smaller. I got this on Amazon. And then we have the Dyson attachment for vacuuming the floors. We use this multiple times a day. The only other thing that's back there is a sandbag for working out. And then I want to talk to you guys about this panel heater. So we bought these panel heaters. They work off of convection current, so it just kind of pulls the air under and then brings it back up and heats it through some kind of mechanism on the inside. But we use these in the winter as our primary heating source. So our house is actually built out of SIPs and has a really good R value, so we're really strongly insulated. So this one heater on most days is enough to keep it warm in here. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how we arrange the house for sleeping. So we move this typically right there. Dog beds go up top, and our dogs will climb right in bed with us if we let them. So we actually have a retractable gate that we partition them off so that they stay up there, we stay down here. And then our bed just pulls right out. And we actually have this, it's called a beddy, which is like a sleeping bag that goes on your bed basically. Super comfortable, zips up, making the bed super easy. I can't say enough about these for tight spaces. We really love them. And then wake up in the morning, zip it up, and it's back in.
All right, so next we want to take you through our seating area that doubles as a storage area. So throughout the day, if we're hanging out at the house inside, if it's bad outside and can't hang out outside, we'll sit here, and we've got, on this side, we have a huge 100-inch pull-down screen that's electronic, so it actually folds down just like that, comes all the way down, and we have a projector over here that plays whatever we want over there. So, you know, for people that think that, oh man, you know, I live in a tiny house, I can't have cool entertainment devices and gaming devices and things like that, you are very wrong. So we have 100 inches of HD television at our fingertips. It's like you're watching IMAX every day. We've got a Sonos surround sound system, so I mean it's like a whole movie theater inside this tiny house. It's awesome. So as far as our seating arrangement, we've got a really big couch here. It's like I think 8 feet long, and or maybe even bigger. And so you can fit at least like 5 grown adults on this thing, and it's pretty comfortable. Shannon's in the process of kind of redoing the pillows in the back and things like that, as we're trying to, you know, redo the design every once in a while. And obviously it's pretty comfortable, as this guy can show you. But I'm going to have to move him in a second. It also doubles as a lot of our kind of inaccessible storage. So things that we don't really use very often, we'll keep under here. Things like in the summertime, we'll keep our winter clothes down there. We'll keep our snowboarding stuff, our snowboard boots and stuff like that. We'll keep that underneath here. I'm a big home brewer, so I've got my home brewing equipment that I store underneath here as well. So we'll kind of show you how that happens. Buddy, I gotta move you. Come here, bud. Come on. There you go. So, ironically enough, what I typically do when I'm getting in here to grab whatever I need, we'll just flip up the blankets, and I actually use a cutting board to get in here. So this lifts up. There's a whole panel under here with a couple of handles, and just kind of easily flip it up, stuff the cutting board underneath there, bam, we got full access to our storage. So as you can see, we've got a lot of our luggage. So Shannon has a couple of these guys here. North Face makes some really big duffels. We've got a couple of different sizes of them, so they pack down really tight, and it's good for, you know, we do a lot of travel, so we need luggage, and it packs away really easily. But as you can see, I've got some brewing equipment. We've got, you know, a bunch of random stuff in here. Heaters back there when it gets really, really cold. We'll pull those electric heaters out. But, you know, just lots of storage area. On the other side, can't really see much, but it is all of our winter clothes over there. So we've got our snowboarding equipment, snowboarding boots, and as well as like sweaters and, you know, winter stuff. So, obviously, like I said, everything has multiple purposes here. So, there's our in-couch storage.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the bathroom. This might be kind of challenging as far as camera work. We'll see what Tim's got, just because it's really tight in there. We definitely see the bathroom as a space that serves a purpose. We don't spend a lot of time in there, so it's tiny, it's cramped, like, it's just how it is. So our light switch is right here. So if you can kind of follow me in, we have a wall-mounted sink, super small, low profile. You know, faucet here. Underneath there is where we keep like all of our shower stuff, like our shampoos and all that good stuff. We do keep, you can kind of see behind here, we have like a mini dehumidifier running back here. We were having some problems with moisture, so we got that in here and it's really helped clear that up. So the other thing that's over here is the liners for the Incinelette. So we went with the electric incinerating toilet as opposed to composting. So basically how this works is you just lift up, grab a liner, pop it in there, do your business, close this guy down. There's a little foot lever over here that you press down. It just opens that chamber, drops everything down, and then a button that you push to light it up.
Flame on.
So obviously this also is our shower space right here. So when we're showering, we close off that toilet, make sure that this is either unplugged or covered. And our shower situation is right here. So we got this hose that we just put up there. This is actually kind of like suction cupped to the wall, so we store it down just because we can get more time without it falling off. And then back here we have towels, obviously hanging. And then here we have, this is like all of my toiletries, like stuff that I use every day. This is Tim's stuff here. And up top we have other toiletries that we don't use as often, cotton balls, that kind of stuff, garbage over here. And that's pretty much the bathroom. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed our tour. If you have any other questions, please feel free to get a hold of me. Instagram is kind of the best way. I'm pretty responsive on there. So it's just my name, Shannon Soyne.
So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I hope you actually learned something. I hope we were able to help you if you're looking at moving into a tiny house or just kind of interested in it, and learn that yes, this is actually possible to do. We're two grown professional adults, and we love it. We've been living in it for over 4 years now. Yes, it has absolutely been a learning process over those 4 years, but we think we've finally perfected it, and hopefully you can perfect yours too. So thanks a lot, and enjoy.